Why Baker Mayfield now after the last several weeks of saying we'll see? Walk me through what Matt Rule decided to rule in favor. See what I did? Of Baker Mayfield. What do you got for me?
Yeah, I think a big piece of this, Rich, was really the juncture at which he was brought in. And, I think, and I know people think it's silly, but, I think to some degree they wanted to acknowledge the work that Sam Darnold had put in, and that he actually had made progress in April and May and June. And, he had been out there with the guys. And so trading for somebody at the beginning of July and handing him the job, again, I know some people think this is silly, but, I think Matt wanted not only to have Baker prove himself to the coaches, but also prove himself to the locker room. And he's done that. There's no question about it. My understanding is, over the last month, this hasn't been particularly close. That Baker sort of ran away with it, which is one reason why neither of those guys wound up playing against the Patriots. And I think, we talked about this before, you and I, how there's this idea of getting them back up to a league average level at the quarterback position. Baker's shown that he can do that. The way that he processes, the way he sees the field, the way he can get a little bit more out of the DJ Moores and the Christian McCaffreys that are out there with him. All of that was really important, and he's proven that he can do that. And so, I think this was just over the last, week or so, just a matter of time, and when you wanted to give him the job. And, I think those practices against the Patriots were sort of the last piece for them to put into place before they made this decision official.
And I apologize in advance, but this is an accurate description of Baker Mayfield. He's a flag planter, Albert, and I bring that up not to troll on you. No, seriously though, the first game's against Cleveland, and if you want to set an attitude and you want to set something up, why not utilize that to your best of your ability if he is in fact also the right guy for the job, and go for it. You know what I mean? For your team.
No, I agree with that. And I appreciate the analogy, but it's true. There is a certain edge that I think if you're trading for Baker Mayfield at this juncture of his career, you're hoping you get, right? You look at when the best of Baker Mayfield came out, it's always when he was fighting back from something, whether it was winning the job at Texas Tech as a true freshman walk-on, showing up at Oklahoma and beating out other guys who were recruited, then proving he's more than just a system quarterback at Oklahoma, winning the Heisman, then going into the draft process and becoming the first overall pick. I think part of that is you've seen the best of Baker Mayfield when he's sort of fighting back against something. And the situation was different for him coming into the NFL because he was the first pick, So, I think you get all of that, naming him the starter, and now you're pitting him against a team that gave up on him, and he's got something to prove, and let's go.
Let's go indeed.